Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kaiserredux. Today we're going to be playing as the Kingdom of Sikkim. We are going to be attempting to, at the very least, conquer, like, Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, and, like, make a Himalayan union. And then we'll see where we go from there. Maybe into India, maybe into China, who could say? This is thanks to the recommendation, over 30 times, in fact, of a certain PizzaEatingBoy. One of a very few number of people who've been commenting on this channel because, as has been discussed, YouTube hates Let's Plays. It does not like them. The algorithm says, no, I would much rather feed you right-wing propaganda. Which I say, alright. This is why everyone streams. But fortunately, I don't care. Wow. Wow, he doesn't care. I don't care. So, obviously, Sikkim starts with negative any industry. I guess I'll work on infrastructure with my no factories, but in case I ever get any factories. In terms of technology, there's very little point in getting improved construction. We'll go electromechanical engineering and support weapons, because that does something. In terms of pressing buttons, I'm going to press commandeer civilian trains. And then we're not going to need to press either of these buttons again. And we do not need to press any super event buttons. So we're going to just proceed forward. And wait for anything to happen. There we go! Something happened. The new year dawns on Paradise! Literally called Paradise. Nai Mael, by the Lepcha, the dominant ethnic group of the nation. Sikkim is a beautiful and storied mountain refuge, safe from the wider world, or at least it was once isolated. Now Sikkim has been held hostage in a diplomatic game of tug-of-war. For Sikkim sits at the crossroads of empires on this sliver of the mighty Himalayas. Sikkim has been a monarchy since 1642, dominated by the Namgyal dynasty for over 300 years, despite the rise of numerous other empires, including the colonial behemoth of the British. A Buddhist family tied to the Lamas ruling over a multi-ethnic and multi-religious state is no easy task. But the Namgyals have managed to keep the Kingdom of Sikkim together for centuries. However, this legacy is now being tested more than ever. When the Raj fell in the wake of the British Revolution, Sikkim was one of the hundreds of states to break free from the dying carcass of British imperialism. But Sikkim now stands nearly alone as a post-Raj state, free from the main Indian factions. This independence was not widely wanted outside their borders, however. For Nepal, Bhutan, what has now become the Bharataya commune, have all tried to absorb our mountain kingdom. Their efforts have all been kept at bay due to their nation's close ties with and guarantees of national sovereignty by Tibet. For the lamas of Tibetan Buddhism and the royal family, as well as much of the nobility, have been closely linked as long as the kingdom has existed. A nominal subject of the Qing, Tibet has been able to defend Sikkim's independence, but with the wavering Manchu dynasty close to collapse, Tibet is no longer in any position to be able to waste troops guarding foreign borders. As the Qing inch close to collapse, the wolves that circle our kingdom only grow more bold, and soon our independence will surely be tested, unless we do something first. It is up to the 11th Chogal, or king, and the Maharaja of Sikkim, His Highness Tashi Namgyal, to guide the nation through the fires of foreign diplomacy, while dealing with the rising tide of radicalism, greater calls for reforms, seeking to liberalize and modernize the nation despite pushback from powerful aristocratic families and groups like the Kazi, Chogal Tashi must strike a balance and mend the schisms that divide Sikkim, lest this paradise come to a burning end under the boots of foreign powers. Sikkim, Kam Sum Wangdu. A new year dawns in paradise. Let's start with the role of the llamas. Do not expect very much action in this first phase of the game. Oh, that's right! It's Kaiserredux, so Kerensky is still president. Oh, Kerensky has just been shot and killed on his way to the Senate. How barbaric. We're gonna go after Bukhara first. Or sorry, Bhutan first. Not Bukhara. 1936 Winter Olympics in Riga. Congratulations to the winners. The Totalist Charter. People must reject this madness. Or will we? Dun dun dun. Eddie 8 is king. Good for him. Yeah, these are... We now have... Central Asia has content in both Kaiserreich and Kaiserredux. It's before the Anglo-Afghan War. Who cares about Afghanistan? Well, since Afghanistan's at war, I might as well send some forces to support. Oh, and we have unlimited max divisions because Kaiserredux is a lot jankier than Kaiserreich. We're gonna try to our best to assist our ally Afghanistan. Notably, Delhi, as well as the central eastern provinces, are still under control of the Dominion. Oh, it's Black Monday. Good thing we're a mountainous nation and we don't care. Okay, never mind then. Interessant. Well, we're back home. We may have to square off against Afghanistan at some point. Oh well. Afghanistan triumphs against the Entente. It's a long event. Surprising would be the appropriate word for this. Austrian Empire withdraws from Italy. Yes, nothing. No, only one surprise so far. Okay. The Barkazai Empire. End of Newfoundland under democracy. I didn't even know they were a country. They're now, occupied puppet. Okay. The Lamas! The Lamas of Sikkim are the highest level of Buddhist clergy, second only to the Chogyal in influence, though the nobility frequently rivals this power, spiritually guiding the nation from the beautiful and ancient monasteries such as Rumtek, Dubrai, and Rolang. These disciples of the Buddha are Sikkim's enduring link to their past and their cyclical future. Loyal to the crown of the Namgyal dynasty as well as the Dalai Lama in Tibet, these clergymen usually put matters of faith above all and are frequently mediators and arbiters of conflict within the nation, safeguarding tradition while seeking to bring unity to its varied populace. Under their guidance, Sikkim remains tied to its beliefs and past, and together they help form the fabric of Sikkim's varied society. Our ties to the beyond. We want that political power because we want to... There's an option here for Army Command Focus. We are going to want reform. Do we have any particular desire to mess around in this? No, not that we would do a lot. Whoever wins in the east here, we don't really care. Oh boy. It's a weird place to have a capital. You'd expect it to be a little closer, but really there's not really many urban regions in like Turkmenistan. No, it's not Turkmenistan, it's not. It is Kazakhstan, that's it. Yeah, Lasha found me. Gallo, Democratic Coalition in Mexico. And Gallo Q in Ecuador. Again, nothing weird. Pius the 11th, Rippy Pippy. F in chat, paying respects. Always be paying respects. Agricultural crisis strikes Ukraine. Yeah, that's not a surprise, given that Germany controls Ukraine's grain supply. Reform is king! Reform in Afghanistan, of all things. Reform in Afghanistan, of all places. What? Reformist. Shocking. Anyways. The Sikkimese Gandhi. German, Lepcha, was a well-known reformer and proponent of peaceful resistance, waging a non-violent war of protest against the Qazis and other corrupt and oppressive nobles, organizing sit-ins, boycotts, prayer vigils, group fastings, marches, and more to resist the aristocratic parasites. JERMA is the voice and face of a free republican future for Sikkim. However, his detractors and opponents do not share his dedication to nonviolence, and much blood has been spilled on the side of JERMA and his allies. Despite it all, JERMA persists, holding faith that Chogyal Tashi will see his dedication and follow through his promise of seeking reforms, for if he did not, all hope for a peaceful resolution will be lost in the eyes of German. Let him complain, it's not like he will do anything. It's true. Definitely not going to do anything. Non-chain click is being dismembered. Yep, it just got dismembered. Democratic cabinet in national France. Hey, that's pretty good. Not that democratic, but they're democratic. Look at you. Louis Morin. Elected in Montseed. in La France. Yes, the France. Proposition. Exceptionnelle. Yep. Unsurprisingly, the war continues in eastern China. Who will win? Who knows? Tibet has joined something called the Pan-Buddhist Liberation Front. That is interesting. No comment. Oop. That is going to make conquering Tibet a lot harder. Assurance of stability. The aristocracy. Sikkim may be led by the Chogyal, but its society and its people are dominated by the aristocracy. All across our mountain paradise, various influential, wealthy, and domineering noble families and interest groups dominate the peasantry, from forcing them to work in the fields as serfs, and even subjecting them to carry each noble around in a personalized palanquin. The nobility has held the Sikkimese peasantry under its thumb for centuries, enabling the persistence of a semi-feudalist society that has stagnated and grown archaic as the rest of the world around us has dashed towards modernity. Most powerful of all the noble groups are the Qazis, a group of affluent and highly influential noble contractors and princes, poised as the traditionalist anchor of Sikkim. They resist any and all pushes for liberalization and modernization in order to safeguard their positions of power, and are largely led by Qazi Lendup Dorji of the Kangspara family. Young but fiercely dedicated to Sikkimese tradition, Lendup leads the Qazis and other noble groups to stand as Chogyal Tashi's largest obstacle to reform, our ties to the past. All under the Chogyal. I'm worried about that alliance. I'm worried about it and I don't like it. There's our electromechanical engineering. We'll move straight to mechanical computing to get that extra research speed. It's not much, but it is a bonus. Poland falls to nationalism, as it will. A lot of territory. Nicholas Iglesias elected. So he's going to defederalize. Or, I guess, federalize is the right word. 9th International Congress. An interesting development. Oh, Bukhara. Hashtag Bukharing hit their best. Technically, the Alash economy is a puppet of the Ruskies, so, you know, put that in your calculations when you determine what on earth is happening. So we sort of have two options with this alliance. We are going to have to fight Tibet at some point. It is when the fight against the Mach Click inevitably happens, we will need to try to attack Tibet when basically as soon as we can, and hope that we can defeat them and then help the Mach Click defeat the Mongolians. Poland has joined the Reichspakt, so whether or not they are nationalist hardly matters. Malta secures independence. Okay. Okay. Alright, it's a bit of a stalemate, isn't it? Alright, we need that specifically for Army XP. We'll get there. Alright. Alright, we need weapons 1. Not that we can produce any weapons, but, you know, at some point we'll be able to, probably. I know that we will. I've done a practice run as these guys, though we didn't get the Barkazi Empire last time. Oh boy. The Chogyal! The Chogyal, or King of Sikkim, has been a position for 300 years, and has only been held by pure-blooded members of the Namgyal dynasty. Currently, the reformist-minded 11th Chogyal commands the nation, seeking to drive Sikkim towards modernity without losing sight of his storied past. Crowned by the Dalai Lama in 1914 after the death of his half-brother, His Highness Sri Panch Maharaja Tashi Namgyal, Maharaja Chogyal of Sikkim, is the undisputed sovereign of the Kingdom of Sikkim. Born in Tibet in 1893, Tashi is only the most recent ruler in a dynastic line that's lasted since 1642, but his rule is quite unique. Nominally an absolute monarchy, Tashi has infamously begun a crusade to reform and liberalize Sikkim society. This has come into conflict with the desires of the conservative nobility. Though he receives tacit support from more radical elements led by German Lepcha, and his SKM, many fear that the king may not be able to go far enough to truly modernize the archaic state of Sikkim. With the instability mounting, and with the nobility and peasantry more rowdy than ever, the 11th Chogyal, Tashi Namgyal, rocks a ranger's edge here at the top of the world. He seeks to bring prosperity to this paradise amidst the mountains. Our path to the future. Tashi's ambition. Boo. Pan-Buddhist National Liberation Front. I'm no fan of that. I'm sad about it. Let's see, what way Malta will go. Currently dominated by the Knights. But, you know. Let's see, we have Newfoundland. Shanking Tiangao is not doing super well. I suspect Mingan. Okay. Will Kuban finally join Ukraine? Could be. We'll see. Anyways, Anqing and the Shangang Xiangao are both kind of losing. Okay. Oh, Mussolini's lock wins in Italy. Not so great. That's Siamese music that's playing right now. Alright, the Mingan insurgency has taken Nanjing. I expect their final victory. It's not guaranteed, but it is probable. Coup d'etat in Siam. Hey! I just mentioned that. Oh boy. So, hey, there we go. Anqing has collapsed. The, Shanking Tiangao have really been saved by the bell there. Oh, they were about to be crushed, but not so much. Oh, that's the United Baltic Duchy. Dead and gone. Rippy Pippy. We'll see if we get the communists in Latvia or whatever. Matter of time. Alright, and the Reichspakt continues to shrink. Yikes. Hey! This is our first real decision, and it is just straight up like a left or right decision. We choose one path or the other. I know what I'm planning to do. So... Oh, look at this. Random... It's just like... This is not an incredibly serious path, as you can tell. I don't know why this random anime woman, who's I think from Evangelion, I didn't see her in the picture because I didn't look close last time. Alright, Tashi's Gambit for the Reformation of Sikkim. Chogal Tashi has long desired to reform Sikkimese society in a major way, pushing for sweeping reforms to the educational systems, the healthcare system, the judiciary, nobility, economy, and more, virtually rebuilding all of Sikkimese society from the ground up. These reforms should slowly see Sikkim transformed into a mixed economy populist monarchy, supported by a modernized, primarily agrarian economy, greatly expanded social and civil rights, and was groundbreaking of all, the end of the neo-feudal system dominated by the nobility, through sweeping land reform, the creation of a truly democratically elected Sikkimese parliament. Modeled on the Indian Congress, as well as from both the British and German systems, Tashi seeks to create a syncretic ideology, form-fit for Sikkim's unique reality, with the well-being of the masses as a key concern, naming him the nickname the People's Chogal. However, the Reformation has one large, near immovable obstacle: the nobility, traditionalist, conservative, and resistant to change in most forms. These influential and affluent aristocrats may be subservient to the crown, but there's no secret that they truly run Sikkim. If Tashi is able to push his desired reforms, he will have to break with most of them, losing him much of the support that will hopefully be replaced by democratic and supportive voice of the masses, or he will be forced to heavily compromise his vision. Supporting Tashi, at least for now, is JERMA and his band of radical liberal reformers in the Member Party of Sikkim, a band of peaceful, reform-minded protesters pushing for the democratization and liberalization of Sikkimese society, which includes other prominent anti-feudal activists like the Dahal brothers of Namphang, namely Kandanda, Dahal, and Darhandidar Dahal, Maha Singh Limbu, and the Sapkota brothers, namely Jai Narayan Sapkota and Trilochan Sapkota. Hey, I'm not great at these names. I'm not great at any names, but, you know. However, though they are peaceful now, JERMA has sworn that should the Tashi break his promises for effective reform, he and his growing band of followers will have no other choice than to take matters into their own hands. With all this in mind, with over 2 decades of rules experience and preparation already behind him, it is finally time for the 11th Chogal to decide the ultimate fate of this paradisical kingdom. Yes, reforms, or no reforms. We must heed the words of the nobles. It's not like the serfs will actually revolt. Because, spoiler alert, I'm looking forward to the serfs revolting. It would be kind of funny. Rip. Rip Bohemian person. Eva has joined the Union of Kokand. The Peasant Coup. With Chogal Tashi bending to the whims of a spoiled nobility, JERMA and his member party of Sikkim have decided to drop their pacifistic opposition, taking up arms across the nation to hastily organize, but well-prepared, revolution. Using the mountainous terrain and lack of infrastructure, good communications to their advantage, the rebels have already seized the capital after slaughtering the Sikkim Guard, garrisoning the royal palace. Though they took 10 times the losses themselves, the peasantry have numbers on their side. It would seem that all hope for the monarchy and nobility is lost. German Lepcha was true to his word, and with Tashi's refusal to go through with the reforms, the Tiger Slayer himself has risen to lead a new socialist-inspired but largely non-radical republican government. The centuries-old reign of the Yamgal dynasty is finally at an end as the Sikkimese revolution comes to a hasty end. I guess the Chogal was wrong. Okay, I'll take market access. Sure. We must excise the parasitic nobility. There's some very funny images. We should do improve worker conditions. Not now. We're going to wait and take the army command focus because I really, really, really need that army XP for reasons that most of you can already guess. Something that I really would have benefited from if... What? Sure. Yeah, I promise Sikkim, will not aggress against the Commune of France. Alright. War Bukhara. Follow the Kingdom of Finland. War in Central Asia. Alright, there's our war. No surprises here. Fate of the People's Chogal. With German waging war against the nobility, many have been to wonder and question what they do with the former Chogal. Since the revolution, Tashi has been confined to house arrest in the palace, as Germans slowly contemplated what to do with the former monarch. Hardliners and radicals in the party demand his death, to be killed in the same fashion as the Qazis once tried to kill German, by tying him into a table and letting a caged and starving tiger do the rest. But others say elsewise. Many believe that his reformist ambitions, though compromised and failed, earn him some merit. And those groups have come up with likely two alternative solutions. Either send him into exile, or likely go stay with the entourage of the Dalai Lama, or force him to become a monk in the hallowed Rumtek monastery where he could do no harm. To the tiger pit. Minus one manpower. We don't have any manpower. Swear the vows. Banish him to Tibet. Swear the vows, and live with the lamas of the Rumtek monastery. You're banned. I'm going to speed it up. Alright. That's going to be a Siamese coup, as you do. I think we are going to see a successful Mingan insurgency. Mau Mau, the jackals of Kenya. F. Scott Fitzgerald writes about something. What does he think he is, a white savior? Indochina declares independence. Good luck, Indochina. We could use an Indo-Chinese ally. So I'm maybe going to send volunteers. Explosion on the Dnieper. A tragedy for the entire nation. Bukhara is defeated. L. Manuel Carles assumes full control of Argentina. Antonin Hampi, elected governor of... Okay. He's like a social democrat. Whatever. Xinjiang clique erupts into war. We've excised the parasitic nobility. The Mont clique has declared war on the Mongolian Khanate. We only have one unit of volunteers, so we have to choose between overtures to Calcutta, which would be nice, or socialized land distribution. We're going to do overtures to Calcutta. We want to rush, bring the red truth to the masses, because it gives us a research slot. Admiral Kolchak murdered in Trans-Amur. What the heck? Somebody declared war on the Mongolian Khanate? Who did? Oh. What the? Okay, so, like, the Mongols are at war with, like, everyone. I'm literally gonna just hang out in Saigon. Incorporeal entity. Yeah, I'm glad that that's a thing in this game. I mean, that division is basically a show division. Sichuan clique. Okay, Sichuan clique declared war in Tibet. That's not great. This is a big war. I would love to get involved in it, but I think that's probably not going to happen. Okay, we may need to slow down. Alright. So, right now, this war is maybe our biggest concern. Though, honestly, a victorious Tibet would not be the end of the world. I think I stay out of it for now. Either way, that is going to be it for today, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.